Okay, let's talk about this Broadway tax credit. You may know that post-COVID, there was this incredible tax credit gifted to the industry by Governor Hochul and New York State to help incentivize producers to produce more shows on Broadway when Broadway and New York City needed it the most. What it said was that, look, if you produce during this period of time, we're going to put a pot of money aside, and you can earn up to, for musicals, up to $3 million back on what you spend in a tax credit. Literally, after an audit and after a somewhat lengthy process, you can get a $3 million check back to write down some of the cost of putting it up. This came at a perfect time, obviously, for the industry because expenses were so much higher, challenging to raise money, shows were not running as long. This tax credit allowed producers to put a lot of people back to work, keep them employed. So it was extended, and then this past year, it was extended in the latest budget rounds. But then you may have read that recently Broadway industry was told that the tax credit had now been depleted. What that means is the shows, I believe it's September 15th, shows that opening after September 15th are no longer guaranteed that tax credit. Now we're crossing our fingers, we're lobbying hard, you should do your part, in the hopes that the tax credit will be added to the upcoming budget, which could be paid retroactively to the show's opening. But for the show's opening right now in the season, they're not guaranteed that. So what does this mean? Well, it means we all should be doing our part to lobby very hard to all of our elected officials in the hopes that the tax credit will get passed and that it will be paid retroactive to these shows that are assuming still great risk in putting up shows right now. You know, last year's grosses met the 2018-2019 season, but the inflation is so much higher since 2018-2019, which is why shows are closing faster, as that we've talked about. So it means that these shows are going to be a little more challenged coming in this year without this tax credit as a guarantee. We'll be watching it closely. We're talking a lot about it here, and if I hadn't said it already, I did twice. I'm going to say it again. If you get a chance, let your elected official know that you support the Broadway tax credit.